Hello and welcome again, friends. I'm so excited to have you here today on The Way Home, Crossnore Communities for Children's Facebook Live show, as well as our podcast. My name is Holly Kessler, and I'm Crossnore's Senior Director of Community Relations. Every Tuesday afternoon, we are here on Facebook Live talking with some of our staff members or our community partners about the work that we do, about child welfare, ways that we're engaging in our communities, lots of different topics that we talk about. So if you miss our live show, you can always rewatch it on our Facebook feed or find it on our YouTube channel. And on Fridays, the podcast comes out on our website at crossnore.org. So there are lots of ways to watch our show and engage with us each week. And I'm really glad that you're here today. Today, I'm excited to welcome two guests to the show. We have Nick Reed, who is the CFO of Greater Winston-Salem, Inc., and Laura Lee, who is their Senior Vice President of Economic Engagement. Nick and Laura are here to share about the mission of Greater Winston-Salem and how they work with partners in our community. So please join me in welcoming Nick and Laura to the show. Hi, friends. How are you?
Hey, well, how are you?
Good. So glad you guys could be here today. That looks like all those windows behind you look like y'all have an amazing view of our town out your windows.
We do. We recently moved. So in March, beginning of March, we moved down to Innovation Quarter as part of one of our initiatives. From the workforce development, we are now co-locating with First Sight Tech's Small Business Center. Okay. And so we are excited about that opportunity to, partner with a great institution and, ultimately help our community by being a kind of a one-stop shop for First Sight Tech, Goodwill. We're partnering with the school system, Forsyth County, all this to have career pathways for our workforce, for our community. Wow. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, before we get too far down the pike, let me have you guys introduce yourselves. Tell us about your role at Greater Winston-Salem, how long you've been there, anything else that you might want to share about your lives. Nick, we'll start with you.
Sure. Well, my name is Nick Reed. I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Greater Winston-Salem, Inc., and I've been with Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. Since March of 2020. So right when we actually went from being the Chamber of Commerce and Winston-Salem Business, Inc. and rebranded to Greater Winston-Salem, Inc., we launched that actually on April 1st, so April Fool's Day. But no, we have done some amazing work, and I've got some amazing team members. But I'm the Chief Financial Officer. So it's such a great place to work. The team's fantastic. We can talk on and on and on. Holly, you may have to cut us off because we just, there's just some fascinating things that we're doing and working with the community. It's just, it makes it easy to come into work every day when you know that you and your team is pushing this community forward in a positive direction. And it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Laura, introduce yourself to us.
Thanks, Holly. So I'm Laura Lee, and I lead our economic development team. So I've been at Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. since March, actually not March of 2020, since July of 2020. So as Nick was mentioning, we formed the new entity in March, and then I joined in July. And it's been a great journey, like Nick was just saying. It's been exciting to build a team and see. How our organization as Greater Winston-Salem, Inc. has grown in almost 3 years now. Really exciting opportunity and just a lot of great momentum that we're moving within our community. So
yeah,
excited to be
that
here.
is awesome. I didn't realize that you both, first of all, had started just a few years ago, and that you guys started right in the middle of the pandemic, the beginning and then the middle. Yeah.
Yes.
We did. It was a blessing and a curse. So actually a blessing in the sense that, when you start new and you're in the numbers, right, it's quiet. So you can kind of get your arms around it. And since we brought in, we've got the Greater Winston-Salem, Inc., which is a 501c6 organization. And we have what used to be Winston-Salem Business, Inc. It's now Greater Winston-Salem Dev Corp. It's a 501c3 organization. And then we have the foundation, which is also a 501c3 foundation. So we were going through an update in our software. So it was nice to be, Mark and I pretty much were the only ones in the office during that time. But it was frustrating because I don't think I got to meet our entire team in person until maybe November or December of that year. So we had lots of virtual meetings, but, it was great to finally get to sit down and actually talk to all your team members. So for it to be that long, it was definitely a unique time, but we pushed through it. But yes, it was a very interesting time.
That really is interesting. Well, Nick, why don't you tell us about the mission of Greater Winston-Salem, Inc.?
Sure. So our mission is to facilitate growth and economic diversification in Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. So, essentially, we're here to support local businesses to increase their investment and jobs throughout Winston-Salem and Forsyth County.
And how exactly do you carry out that mission in working with those businesses?
Sure. Well, we have a wonderful board that has challenged us. And back in March of 2021, we launched our 2030 strategic plan. And that plan is three-pronged. One is to be the best top mid-sized city in the Southeast. So we're going to hopefully achieve that by, encouraging accelerated growth through strategic recruitment and expansion efforts of, all of our local businesses and attracting new businesses. And then we want to be a more equitable community. So, through education initiatives and community partnerships, we want to increase economic equity and mobility for all of our Forsyth County residents. And then finally, which is closest home for Laura and I, because Laura is a new mother, we want to be the best place to raise a family. So through community partners to ensure high quality of life, world-class amenities, we want to attract and retain the best talent. And if you are a community that is great to raise a family, you will attract great people. And that's how we got Laura here. So, but that's essentially how we carry out our initiative. We, as being a nonprofit, right, we've got our mission, we've got our board that pushes that. And so everything that we do, all of our spend and everything is through that lens of that mission of growing this community as best we can.
Wow, it's a big mission with a lot of really great goals for our community. I'm glad to learn more about those goals. Are there particular organizations that you guys partner with, Laura, or are you just open to anybody that wants to join Greater Winston, Inc.?
So I think there's a good two-pronged answer to that. So yes, as a membership organization and a traditional chamber, we absolutely want all sizes of companies and all different types of organizations to be part, especially for the networking and connections and just building community aspect of who we are as a company. My role in economic development, we focus a lot on entrepreneurship in particular. So really scalable companies that are looking to start up, but also grow significantly in a short period of time, along with our existing employers in the community and in attracting new companies that may have interest in Forsyth County for varying reasons. They may like our workforce or see a specific real estate asset that seems to be a really great fit for what their needs are for growth or relocation. So we have lots of different options for how people can really get connected with us. And I think it's also really important to know that we can stay up to date on business events or other opportunities throughout the community. We partner really closely with our municipalities and a lot of our elected officials as well. So we do feel like we bring a lot to the table for companies to be connected with us. And sort of to Nick's point about our 2030 goals, the economic growth piece about being the top mid-sized city in the Southeast for economic growth. We've announced since 2021, we've announced almost 1,600 jobs and over $400 million of new capital investment. And those are just a couple of the metrics that we use on the economic development side to just know that we're moving the needle in the right direction. And it's really important to us to know that those 1,500 jobs, we have individuals to fill those roles. So as Mark, our CEO, says all the time, this is a team sport, and we want to make sure that our organization draws the right groups together. We also we partner often with our school system as well, and all of our institutions for higher learning. So those opportunities are great and vast.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Are there particular advantages for community organizations or businesses to join Greater Winston-Salem, Inc.?
So I think, as I mentioned before, the connections and the networking are truly valuable. And as our director for membership, Deetra, she's fantastic and is an incredible asset just in herself. But what she says a lot is, as much as you give to the chamber, you get back.
Sure.
However often you're able to do those networking events, or the under 40 networking, or lunch and learn type of opportunities, or the Wake Up Winston opportunities. I think companies that spend time in those meetings and really have the opportunity to connect with others. I think that's a true advantage. We do have other pieces from the economic development perspective. We're able to help shepherd companies through an incentives process or just the entire real estate process if they're looking for growing from that standpoint. And then we also, from our talent and workforce team, I think a real advantage is we have an Aspire internship program that is a unique opportunity for students to connect with an internship in the summer for the focus had been Title I high schools with juniors and seniors, and we've seen great response from our school system and also from students that are really excited about this opportunity and how they can grow their careers. So,
and those are high school students, not college students.
That's correct. This focus had been with high school students, and just to really expose them to opportunities in our community and understand that there's a lot beyond maybe what traditional high school internships or high school jobs look like. So get you more into our manufacturing or even in our more white collar roles, and give people those opportunities at that young age, which just really can get you excited about careers.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting thought. I didn't know about that program. And a lot of times we use interns here at Crossnore, but they're usually college students. And as you think about the way that business has changed over the years, I'm older than you and Nick, but even from the time that you guys probably were in college, like there's lots of jobs out there that people don't even know are jobs, right? And so if you have an internship program, you may not have even ever thought of going into a particular field till you learn more about it.
Absolutely. It's really all that career readiness aspect too that Nick was mentioning earlier, that we partner closely with Forsyth Tech and our school system to make sure that students understand what options are available in that career exploration. Really can't be understated.
Yeah. What were you going to add, Nick? Yeah.
I was going to say, so that the Aspire program has been very successful. We also have a program called Senior Academy, which is geared towards seniors that are on the verge of potentially dropping out, and it's a mentor program where we match these kids up. We work with the school systems, as Laura mentioned, and they identify potential students that may drop out, and they work with us, and we partner these students with local men and women here in town that volunteer to spend time with these folks. And the program is amazing. It's I want to say the success rate is like 95%. It may be higher than that. So, these folks that volunteer, another way to get involved with us is to volunteer your time. And, we ask, I want to say it's 8 to 10 times throughout the year that these folks meet up with these students. And, they talk about everything from schoolwork to, what's going on at home, just another support mechanism to help get these folks through some difficult times. And so that Senior Academy program has been great, and it's led itself to the Aspire program, which is awesome. As you alluded to, when you're in high school, I think back, there's so many opportunities. When I hear the medical field, I think of a doctor or a nurse, right? But that's not all that's there, right? Yvonne and Atrium, our local partners here, they have so many different opportunities. So I'm a big sports fan, so I see it as like a tryout. It's great for these kids to get exposed, and for these employers to take these kids on and give them exposure, right? At the end of the day, it's a commitment for them. So it's a very cool program we offer that we provide transportation to and from. We pair these kids up. We put them through a couple of different programs, and the program's evolving as we've gotten some feedback from the students, and we're getting them certifications that they need. So how do you write a resume? What do I wear to work? What is it? Why do I need to be on time? So all these things that, we're just trying to help give them a jump start, and also just expose them to just different opportunities and different organizations throughout our area. So it's healthcare, nonprofits. We've had just a great partner. So it's been a really, really neat program that's taken off, and we've had just great support from the community, and Superintendent McManus and her team has really helped to really make this program grow and be great.
That is amazing. And of course, at Crossnore, we're all about taking care of some children and youth in our community. So you guys are doing that kind of work too. And so I just love those programs. I'm going to mention that as well to our residential team and our educational supports. And I can't imagine that we don't have some kids at Crossnore that might even be interested in those programs.
Yeah. The one thing I failed to mention, Holly, is that part of the program. So we know that organizations sometimes taking on a high school kid, it's different, right? There's just different requirements, different insurance requirements. So sometimes there's a little more red tape. But we've received funding from Truist as one of our largest sponsors. But as part of that program, the employer can pay up to $15 an hour, and we reimburse that employer for that money. So essentially, we at the end of the day, we just want these kids to have the experience, and are trying to remove all of those barriers for employers to take on these students and expose them to all the different opportunities at their organization.
Yeah, that's great. That is so great. I'm so glad that y'all shared that with us. Laura, you said something when you were talking earlier about a traditional chamber. Are there differences between what we typically think of as the Chamber of Commerce and what you guys do at Greater Winston-Salem Inc.?
Well, I think a lot of the things that are different is that now we have economic development and the talent and workforce division, and along with the membership and our advocacy efforts. So we've really partnered everything in one entity rather than having to go to separate entities to see the value. So I do think it helps us because we're able to connect with all of the different teams within our organization.
Okay. That makes a whole lot of sense. Well, let me ask both of you guys, what is your favorite thing about the Winston-Salem community?
Laura, you want to go first?
Sure, happy to go first.
Okay.
I feel like we get to share a lot about Winston-Salem overall when we talk to new companies, but also existing companies that are growing here. And I think mine is just truly the sense of community and how much people do care and love this community. It is a place that one of the phrases that our team likes to say is it's with a wide front door. It's really open to everyone, and it's just a wonderful place to live and grow.
Yeah. What about you?
I would echo that, Holly, and I would even go further for me. So I grew up in Atlanta, so the fact that I can get anywhere in about 15 minutes is amazing.
That's a huge plus.
There's just no traffic. I just get to spend more time with my family. Not to mention the cost of living is fantastic. So that's for me compared to Atlanta. Everything here is just so much better. It's great, getting off at 5:30, and I'm home, by 5:15, 5:45, and getting to see my two little ones and off to soccer and all those other great sports. So the traffic or lack thereof is definitely something that I love and do not miss about it being, in Atlanta.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Well, I know that one of my favorite things that you guys do is the Wake Up Winston-Salem program in the mornings. So sometimes you have to get out a little bit early and depending on where the event is, but it's great to gather in the morning with other folks from around town, getting to know them, and usually have it in a different place. So you learn more about that organization that is hosting Wake Up Winston. But what is your favorite thing, either about working at Greater Winston-Salem Inc. or maybe it's something like the Wake Up Winston program that you guys offer? What's your favorite thing?
I think I'm gonna say it's our team. I love working with I didn't want to steal that from Nick because I feel like that probably is his too. But it's a really inspiring group of people and a really motivated team, it really helps, keep you excited and enthusiastic about our community and overall just what we're doing as an organization. But if I've had to pick a favorite event, we have a Founders Forum event that we host that's part of our entrepreneurship support. And that's a really, really fun and exciting event. It usually features a major founder in our community, somebody that's really kind of made it, and then someone that's also a startup spotlight. So we have an opportunity to hear about somebody that's a little bit more, earlier in their business idea, and it's just really exciting and inspiring as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nick, how about you?
Yeah, so you did steal my answer, Laura.
Yeah, you were going to say team too, weren't you?
but I'm going to go. I mean, it is fantastic. I work with some really talented team members, and just what we've been able to accomplish as a team. We kind of have this saying around the office of together. So when one company grows, we all grow together, and we live and breathe that mantra, and it's fantastic. The stats that Laura threw out, that was just from 2021. What her team has done already in 2022 and early on in this year, we are very fortunate to have her and her team and Mark and his leadership really driving this organization forward. And it's a great place to come in and work. Great, when you like your team, you like coming to work, and when you like what you're doing, it just makes life great. And so if I had to pick an event, we have 4 signature events. So, I like to play golf, so we do a golf tournament in the fall out at Bermuda Run, and it's fantastic. We get a lot of our team members come out. We try to do some different things. So we've had, the Wake Forest golf coach come out, and the Winston-Salem State University golf coach come out and hit some shots, and that's a lot of fun. I mean, the annual meeting was fantastic too. We did that at the Joel. We had over 600 folks come out. It was our first big meeting that we had since COVID, and man, I tell you what, I think people were just so excited to be able to shake somebody's hand and talk face to face in person. And
Absolutely.
The Zoom was real. That just folks just really ready to get out but that was a really neat event where we had Steve Bratspeed from Haynes come and give his perspective on where Haynes was going and some of the challenges they were facing and the opportunities they have up ahead. So, anytime we can get out and partner with our community, partner with our leaders, and bring folks together, I'm all about it. So we do a lot of those. But it's long story short, I think I like most of our events, if not all of them. So
yeah. I heard great things about the last annual meeting. I had planned to go, but had a different commitment on that night. So I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm planning definitely to be at the next one for sure.
That would be great.
And I'm not surprised that you guys both said your team, because everybody that I have interacted with from Greater Winston-Salem Inc. is always smiling, laughing. Like, you guys must have a really good time when you guys work together. So
we do.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And Nick, I don't know if you've ever played in our golf tournament here in Winston-Salem.
I have. It's also a great event. Yes, ma'am.
Good. Well, that's great. I'm glad. I wanted to make sure you knew about it since you're a golfer. Well, is there anything else that you guys would add about Greater Winston-Salem Inc.? Or Nick, do you just want to tell us where to find out more information on your website?
Sure. At the end of the day, you can always go to winstonsalem.com. We have a newsletter there that you can sign up for. It's great. You don't have to be a member to receive it, because at the end of the day, we want everybody to know about the events and what's going on, and just make everybody knowledgeable of what this community is about and where we're going. And Laura, I don't know if you have anything to add or not.
I'd say if you have specific interest in anything in the community or in our organization, don't hesitate to reach out to Deetra Mills. She's amazing. She's a great resource, and will be able to direct you quickly to what you might be more interested in.
Yeah, that's great. And y'all's newsletter is terrific. I get lots of e-newsletters, but y'all's newsletter is really terrific. And then the podcast that Deetra does as well is great. So Nick and Laura, thank you so much for being here with us today. Thank you for all that you do in our community, and for all the times that I get to see you guys at events and see your smiling faces. But we really appreciate you, and we appreciate the work that Greater Winston-Salem Inc. does here in our community. So thank you again for being with us.
Hey, thanks, Holly. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, friends, as I have thanked Nick and Laura for being with us today, let me also say thanks to each of you who are watching or listening. We so appreciate the opportunity to tell you about Crossnore and about the communities where we live and work. For more information, please visit our website at crossnore.org or follow us on our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. That's it for today, but I really hope you will join us again next week on the way home.